Hey guys, it's Haley Radiant and I'm back for another tag video. It has been a long time since I did a tag video back in the summer of 2016, but I am back because I just got recently tagged by my good friend Emily, also known as XLoveLiveXOO, and she's a really great friend of mine. We've been talking a lot lately, and I highly recommend her channel. She's a very talented voice actress, and again, her channel name is on the side of this picture, so go check her out, please do. And for this tag, it's called the I'm It tag, which is kind of like a Q&A with basic questions like favorites and stuff like that. But for this one, I'm going to try and be a little bit more of like what I've been into recently, just to spice up the video and not make it just a random Q&A. And also just to give shoutouts to my favorite things in the world right now. And so without further ado, let's get started. Fav Movie, including Disney. As most of you probably know from my previous Q&A back last year, my favorite movies of all time are Hugo and Beauty and the Beast, but recently I've been watching a lot of Little Shop of Horrors since I've recently got the DVD and the CD, and the movie is just so hilarious every time I watch it, and the music is to die for. It's the same duo behind Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, and this is the musical movie that got them recognition from Disney, so definitely worth the check out if you are a musical fan or a comedy fan. It's just great for anyone who is into anything like that. And the other movie I've been really into recently is Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. It's actually one of my favorite movies of last year, and what I love most about this movie is just how it expands the Harry Potter universe, and we get to see more magic being done than in the Harry Potter movies, at least to more of an interesting extent, and also knowing the creatures and the different wizarding cultures in America, which is a lot of fun for me to watch. It does get a little confusing from a certain plot point that I won't spoil because it's a huge spoiler in the movie, but if you're willing to look it up and see just what that spoiler means, I think you'll enjoy this movie a lot more. I certainly did. And I just really want you guys to see it. It's just such a good movie. Hands down, just becoming really one of my favorites ever. And lastly, I think I should mention another movie I've been recently watching is Sing, the recent Illumination movie. It came out last year in December, and I sadly did not see it, and I wish I did. It is such a good movie. I just love the music and the different characters and their backstories. I just really liked how it all added together and just made the movie more or less generic and more just something you're really into. And I think it's personally one of Illumination's best movies, and if you ever get the chance to see it, go see it. You won't regret it, I don't think. Fav Song right now. Ooh, goody, I get to talk about this one. So, okay, if any of you have been following me on Tumblr and have noticed some occurring themes that I've been resharing, you might have noticed that I've been really obsessed over a little upcoming musical that just premiered recently, which is Anastasia the Broadway musical. And upon my searchings on Tumblr for Anastasia related music numbers, I found a little blog post that featured all of the songs that were featured in the Broadway previews for the show, and they only had the songs that they performed live, so I was able to listen to all the songs, and guys, I am obsessed with this musical. The songs are freaking incredible. They add on to the movie, and I think the things that they took out from the movie were for the better, and what they added in for this musical were for the better. And if I say anything more, this video will be 20 minutes long. I am gushing over this musical. But my favorite song from that musical right now is In My Dreams, which is sung by Anastasia, who Christy Altomare is currently playing on Broadway, and she is incredible. All the praise for her is deserved, and she is just perfect for this role. And if you guys ever get the chance to go to New York and see this show, go see it. Or if you're like me, who goes to Tumblr for basically any info on this musical, there is a ton of information about this musical, and there's a lot of songs that were recorded from the Hartford production, which is pretty similar to the Broadway production, but just some things got cut out to make it more flowing, which is also a plus. So go check anything out about this musical on Tumblr. Just type in Anastasia the Musical, and you can easily find music samples, pictures, videos, anything you want. Just go to Tumblr, search in Anastasia the Musical. As for other songs I've been listening to right now that I've really enjoyed, I recently bought the Samantha Barks personal album off Amazon. Samantha Barks, of course, was from Les Miserables. She played Eponine. She is my favorite character in that movie and musical. And this album is very amazing. All the songs are just perfectly sung, so beautiful. And it even features a song that's going to be in the upcoming Amelie musical, Stay, which is just sung by herself, and it's so beautiful, and I can't wait to hear Philippa Sue sing it in the Broadway recording of this, which is another musical I've been very excited for, but not as much as Anastasia. Speaking of Amelie, I've been really also into the song Times Are Hard for Dreamers, which is available now on iTunes from the Amelie original Broadway cast album, and Philippa Sue sings it so beautifully, and it is so much fun to listen to when I'm just working. And another couple of albums I've been listening to is the Beauty and the Beast 2017 movie album, and my favorites from there are Evermore and Days in the Sun. And then last one I'm going to talk about is La La Land, and my favorite song from there is Audition. And again, that album also has a lot of great songs that I've just been loving to listen to. And yeah, those are the songs I've been listening to. What's your style like? I believe I've answered a question like this in a previous video, but again, my style of clothing is usually just comfortable or professional, like black pants or black leggings and a t-shirt or just a plain shirt that's comfortable. I try to get more pop culture shirts, but they're easy to find, but there's not like enough that are good like to wear for a long period of time, and that's why I'm very picky on that, because I'm very picky on material. I like things that are just comfortable and that make me feel good about myself. Hope that's what the question meant. If it wasn't, then you can just ask me again in the comments. Fave TV show. Now for this one, my favorite TV show varies from whatever season is really good at the time, and then I obsess over very easily. And the one show I've been really obsessing over that I've watched recently again over on Netflix is Gallivant. This show is completely underrated. It's so hilarious, and the musical numbers are made by the same duo behind Tangled, so you know it's got to be really good. And also, it just has amazing character development. In season 1, it may start out a little bit iffy, like the characters seem just one note, but trust me, when you get to season 2, the characters are more developed and more seen as like strong individuals that deserve their own TV show. I'm looking at you, King Richard. And it's just such a good show, and I really hope people start to realize this show's potential, and maybe we can get another season for this, or another spin-off, or just another continuation of the story. So I highly recommend this, so go check it out if you haven't. It's over on Netflix. Another show that I just love with all of my heart, and that I can't find a single person to talk about it with, is Jane the Virgin. Now, this title is a little weird, as it does reference to sex, but if you see the show for what it is, or at least give it a chance and are able to overlook that part, it is so hilarious, and it's so dramatic, it's so overblown. And the crazy thing is, there's not one bad episode. I mean, there's a couple maybe small ones or like a little slower ones, but there's not like a bad episode. It's hard to explain, but it's like in Gravity Falls in that sense, where you can watch the whole show and just be like, oh my gosh, not one episode is bad, or one episode is I regret watching it. Like, this whole show is amazing. It's so hard to explain, and the lead, Gina Rodriguez, is incredible. So I can't recommend it enough. Just go check it out if you haven't, because I really want someone else to talk about this show with, except for my sister. I love my sister, but I would love to talk to someone else about this show because it's just so that good. And of course, the other shows I've been really into these days is Supergirl, which I'm glad that the CW picked it up because it got better and better. And the other show I've been really into is Riverdale. From what you've seen with my other videos, I love the show a lot. There's not one bad character, except for Archie. I can't stand that kid. But besides that, those are all the shows I've been into. Fave animated show. There are a bunch of my favorite animated shows out there right now, and as you may have known, I still love to death Steven Universe, Avatar and Legend of Korra, Teen Titans, and Gravity Falls. But now some of my new favorite shows that are animated are Tangled the series, which is a continuation of Tangled before Ever After, that short with the wedding. And I really like that show because they kind of try to explain what's going on with why she has long hair again. Yes, she has long hair again, and I was skeptical about that too, but they use that hair to their advantage as the big what's going on with the hair and why is this happening. And it does feel a little weird just to see her with that long hair, and I do love the short hair they gave her in the special that you have to see before seeing the show. But you get used to it after a few episodes. There's also a lot of great new characters like Cassandra. She's hilarious and she's just a lot of fun, and her and Eugene have the best bickering moments ever on a TV show. And so I highly recommend the show for like any Tangled fans who are willing to look into their hearts and just give it at least a shot. It's just a lot of fun. Has the same great music by our lovable Alan Menken, so yeah, just go check it out if you haven't. Another show I want to mention that's animated is Elena of Avalor, which is kind of a Sophia the First spinoff, but this takes the idea of Sophia the First and actually does a lot more to it. A lot more better characters and a lot more better music and just a lot more better everything. I love Sophia the First, but it is for little kids, and Elena of Avalor, it is for kids, but I feel like you can watch it even as an adult and just appreciate it like you do an animated Disney flick. It's just that good. And Elena herself is one of my favorite Disney princesses right now. She's my second favorite next to Belle, who was my first favorite. And a lot of that comes from how great she is as a role model, and it comes a lot from her voice actress as well, who is from Young and Hungry. If you guys watch that, it's not that great of a show, but this actress makes the show worth watching. I guess not really, but still the actress is a great choice for Elena, and she makes this show possible, and I think it's a really great recommend for those who love Disney movies and are just willing to see it full on as a TV show, and just seeing this great princess who everyone can look up to now.